I'm really excited to make this one because I know it's going to change the game for you. Ultimately, people that click on you, you want them to become clients, you want them to become customers. Because people are always there to follow you, not just because they like you and they want to be an admirer of you, but what can they get from you? What can they learn from you? I took the risk. I didn't care about how much money I was going to make. I just wanted to live and breathe for the gym. That was the risk I was willing to take. I didn't chase it for the money. If anything, I thought I was going to guarantee to make less money than I would if I had pursued a career in finance or accountancy. Just tell the story that's going to relate to the target audience that you've got, because ultimately that's what your page is there for. Oh my god, I saw online coaching. I saw that people don't have to work that much. They can live wherever they want and they can earn a shitload of money. Don't tell that story. This is a game changer when you get it right. You're going to probably learn a lot if you're new to this channel completely here. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I'm really excited to make this one because I know it's going to change the game for you. If you're running an online coaching business, this is going to transform the way that you sell online, and it's going to open up new doors to you. I don't know where those doors are going to be, but they sounded really good when I said that. Anyway, I'm going to tell you the posts that you need to pin. And if you're asking me why I said 99% of people pin the wrong posts, it's because they do. And it's because they're not these posts here. And when you do pin these posts, it's going to completely transform the way people find out about you, trust you, and automatically want to buy from you. And if that sounds too good to be true, the reason I can say that so confidently is because when I applied this concept, I seen a massive increase in the amount of leads that we got through, which is ultimately what our Instagram, our social media page is there to do. Is there to get traffic and convert that into leads, and then you do the rest of it with the nurturing, the sales, and the client delivery afterwards. Okay, so that's what this is all about. So I've talked about this in depth on other videos, but I'm going to keep it very short and sweet so you understand it. And again, just a bit of validation, so the people that don't know me, which is most of you, you're like, why should I even trust you? Who the hell are you? We've built an online coaching brand from 0 to 250 plus active clients. And that active clients, the way I say active clients, that means that we, with an LTV of roughly 6 months on average, we had to be constantly taking on 40 to 50 new clients per month. And we don't have a viral audience. We don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. We did that with a very low organic following, but we were very good at converting those followers into customers. So if that's not enough validation, I don't know what is. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you about how we did that, and more importantly, the 3 pin posts that you actually need. And where people go wrong with this, right, is sometimes I go on people's pages, I look on coaches' pages all the time. They've just got randomly pinned posts. Maybe it's like their biggest achievements or things that are personal to them, which is great if it's more of a personal page. But if you're running a genuine coaching page where, yes, it's your personal brand, but ultimately, people that click on you, you want them to become clients. You want them to become customers. So I'm going to walk you through the reasons why these are very, very important, and I'm just going to dive straight into it, okay? So first of all, actually, let me just clear up that concept. What your Instagram actually is, so we agree on this first of all. What your Instagram page is, like I said, is top of funnel. So it's where the viewers come to see you and first hear about you. Just like you're watching this video now, it's the first time you might have heard of me. And that's what happens when someone first clicks your profile before they decide to follow you. So they need to know very quickly who you are, your background, your story, because yes, you are very self-centered and maybe focused on yourself, right? And you have understood every single post you've ever put up. You know your story, but a new person clicking your profile doesn't. They may see the last 6 posts, but that's it. So that's why the pin posts are important. So we show your story. We then prove and prove exactly what you are, like who you are and who you say you are is true. So we need some form of proof. And finally, what we need to do is make sure that they understand exactly what you do, what you can offer them as well. Because people are always there to follow you, not just because they like you and they want to be an admirer of you, but what can they get from you? What can they learn from you? So that's what we need to cover with these 3 pins posts. And I've kind of given it away there, but we need to agree that that's what Instagram is there for. That's what social media is there for. It's to build trust with an audience, and eventually you're going to convert them into customers. Like, that's the goal. If you agree on that, this is going to help you. Okay, so let me first start off with what this is actually about. So let's just write in red because it's probably going to look pretty cool. I think I kind of touched on it already. This is the story. So first pin post, right, which you're going to be very happy to hear if you're really passionate about your own Instagram, which a lot of people are. It's going to be all about you, right? So you can sit back, you can relax, you can not worry that you're going to be too much of a salesy coach. This is all about you. It's your story. But when I say your story, I don't mean every year of your life that's gone by. You need to nitpick key points in your journey that is going to be relatable to your target audience's journey. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let me just write down some key points. So the before, the before part of your journey needs to be very relatable to your target audience's before position as well. So how can I give this as an example? Okay, when I'm speaking about business, I talk about my career journey. I talk about where I started as an accountant. I talk about when I dropped out, when I went with online coaching full time. I took the risk. I didn't care about how much money I was going to make. I just wanted to live and breathe for the gym. That was the risk I was willing to take. I didn't chase it for the money. If anything, I thought I was going to guarantee to make less money than I would if I had pursued a career in finance or accountancy. But I took that risk because I was pursuing a passion. Now, later down the line, as I learned the game and I understood what I was doing and offering, help to more and more people, and more people wanted help, the demand was there, then that's when I started to make more and more money, and then the opportunities came out of nowhere. I could never have forecasted that. But that's a story I give when I talk about, speaking to people like you, like coaches that want to build a business as well. When I was talking about fitness, I wouldn't tell that story. I would tell a different story. I would tell the story of how when I first got into fitness is because I broke my leg in 3 places. I went really fat because it was around Easter and everyone gave me loads of Easter eggs, and I was enjoying playing COD and just consuming about 20 Easter eggs over the space of a month, but I wasn't allowed to even get up and walk because the break was so bad. And that led to me being at my lowest point as a teenager, no confidence to speak to anyone, let alone girls, very out of shape. And as someone that was into rugby and football, playing sports, it was just really, really uncomfortable going back when I was like so unfit. So that's when I got into the gym. My father showed me what to do. It was in the shed. I couldn't go to a gym because I was only 14. We couldn't find one I could go to. But yeah, that's when I ignited my passion for fitness. So I remember being at my all-time low, and I also tell a very vivid story sometimes when I'm speaking to people that I feel I can really connect with, that are maybe very overweight. And I remember looking at myself one day when I was in the toilet and I was sitting down, I was having a poo. And I remember looking at my belly and just being like, this is horrendous. And I actually started crying. Like, that was a moment where I'll never forget that day. I know exactly where I was. And that was the turning point for me. That was the point that kickstarted my journey. Did I think I was going to become a competitive bodybuilder and compete in the Arnolds and get second in the British? No. But that's a very quick story I can tell of, that's very relatable to maybe someone that has been at the lowest point, or maybe they are right now, and they want to maybe achieve something long term that's maybe not a competitive bodybuilder, but they want to get in great shape and be confident at the beach and just be walking into rooms with full of confidence in the clothes that feel great. That's a relatable story that they want to go through themselves. So you want to nitpick your story, be very authentic with the way you tell it, because it's got to be a true story to you, but just tell the story that's going to relate to the target audience that you've got, because ultimately that's what your page is there for. So the after needs to be relatable. If we put that down. One thing I would say as well with the story, because some people do sell services that are not a journey they've been through themselves, but what I would say is tell the journey of what ignited your passion. So I just said there with fitness, like what ignited my passion for it, like what ignited your passion for, maybe if it's accountancy, why do you suddenly want to be obsessed with saving business owners money? Is it because one day you realized how many people are overpaying taxes and struggling to grow small businesses, and you realize how important small businesses are to the economy? Is that something that's just lighted a passion in you, and then you've seen what you can do and then the change that can provide in someone's life? Is that the passion that drove you there? You can tell a story of what got you into it. If you're doing something, you probably at some point had some sort of passion for it. So tell the story of how you got into it, how much you've trained for it, the hard journey you've probably been on, the up and down, climbing the mountain, getting stuck at the bottom. Like, you need to tell those parts. It can't just be a nice story. It needs to have some lows, just like any good story. It needs to have some highs, and you need to be able to tell it very quickly in a quick video that people are going to already feel like they know you. How can they already feel like they know you? So those are the things I would think about. I would think about the before on the story, the after, the passion. I would say talk about the lows and talk about the highs. Yeah, so just to simplify for your story, that's what you need to think about. And I'm sure if you're a fitness coach, it's very easy to tell a story like that you've been on as to why you've got into this industry, right? So yeah, I was just thinking in my head then, If it's just like, oh my God, I saw online coaching, I saw that people don't have to work that much, they can live wherever they want, and they can earn a shitload of money. Don't tell that story. Like, that may be true to you on some level, but please, I hope that there's some part of you that actually cares about people you work with and the success that they're going to have, right? So tell that part of the story. Don't tell the part where you're trying to just make as much money as you can, because people aren't going to sign up to just be like, yeah, I'll give you my money, because that's all you care about. So anyway, the story is definitely one of them, 100%. I need to be able to click on your profile, watch that quick video, and know who you are, know what you stand for, know what you've been through, know the accomplishments you've had. Like, that does need to be embedded in there, but it needs to be relatable to the target audience, okay? So that's one thing. Always come back to the target audience. So let me just highlight that. Right, next one. What we're going to talk about here, this is going to be one that's going to be more along the sides of the nitty-gritty marketing stuff, so that you're going to probably learn a lot if you're new to this channel completely here. So let's write it down then. So this one is going to be your, we'll call it L pitch, so elevator pitch, plus, I'm going to say offer, but we're actually going to call it mini offer. I'm going to say lead magnet offer, right? So we call it lead magnet offer, elevator pitch. So what needs to be in here? Now this is where we get into the nitty-gritty stuff. So in this part here, it's not what your bio says, so it's a little bit more exaggerated than that. It's almost like a combination of a promotional video and your offer, your elevator pitch. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what it is. So if that sounds overwhelming straight away, I'm going to break it down really, really simple for you, okay? So I've broken this down as well, this like whole offer thing, really simplified it, so you can watch that video if you want to. I'll probably link it below, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's on the channel anyway. I'm going to really simplify this because you have probably come across these offers before, right? And the reason this is even a thing is because Alex Hormozi, if you don't know him already, he created the offers book. It's blown up, everyone's used it, and the fact that everyone's used it has now made it way less powerful. So the concepts he teaches, and the way, I'd say more the way people have executed them, those executions are just poor from most people, okay? So they take the concepts, they learn the concepts, but their execution is poor. It's all about how you execute and how you understand these principles. So the tactics change, the principles stay the same. So what are the principles? Basically, people need to know who you help. So you need to call out the target audience. You need to say exactly what dream result you're offering. So what is the dream result feeling or the dream outcome that they want as a target audience? You need to call that out specifically. You need to say what is different about your program very subtly by saying something that they would usually associate they need to be doing to achieve that desired result, but you say it's now without that. So it's a bit of a pattern interrupt. So I'll give an example at the end. And then you also need to call out the pain points that's probably associated with their dream result if they are going through that right now, or you can talk about the pain points they're feeling right now at the before point. And then you need to explain what your method is. You need to name your method. You need to name what, and it's not the name of your service. It's not premium coaching, online coaching. I'll talk about it right now. So, and then finally you need to say what the old method is that you'd stand against. So I know it sounds complicated, but it can all be explained really quickly in like 1 or 2 sentences. And it's not the same as what most people have taken it and executed it, like by saying, I help busy people drop 20 pounds in 90 days. Like, that's not what we're talking about. That's not what I'm telling you to put in your bio. This is a video format, so you've got more time and you're able to say more words. But yeah, this is a game changer when you get it right. So if I write it down, if you want help with this, you can click the link below. There's going to be a free offer builder G sheet that we use that takes your target audience. You work with ChatGPT on it. You split back and forth, and then it helps you with every column to just build out your offer. It marks it for you. It's really easy to use. That's the easiest way of me saying it, so that you can actually do this for your business rather than me doing this as a broad video. It's going to be very confusing otherwise, but let me just simplify it. So target audience call out, so that's basically saying, if I'm talking to you right now, online coaches, I'm calling out the person, the title that you've got, basically. So I'm being very specific with the target audience. This video is for online coaches, specifically online fitness coaches. I want to help you. So what's the desired result? So desired result. So if I was talking about my software, we've got a social proof page that is designed to convert viewers into followers. Viewers into customers by giving you more leads, because it injects proof into their journey. They click one link, they're bombarded with all the proof that you've ever had, and they automatically trust you, so they take the next step, they become a lead, right? So if I'm looking to help you get 5 new leads in the next 28 days, like that's what the desire would be. So we help you get 5 new leads in the next 28 days without. So what's the without? So you need to talk about what they don't really need to do. So you could say I could say without paid ads, without new fancy funnels, without new investing in tech, without wasting 5k on a business mentor. Like, those are the things that people would usually assume they would need to do if they want to blow up and get, like, say 20 new leads. They probably think, I need to spend a load of money on paid ads, I need to do 100 messages of outreach. Like, those are the things they associate with that outcome that they want and they don't want to do. So I'm saying it's without those things. So then the pattern interrupt is there. They're like, oh, this is interesting, what's this about then? So then I talk about the new method. And the new method for us, if I bring it back, I'm going to confuse you now. I'm going to bring it back to our fitness offer, where we talk about a carb cycling approach. So we talk about that a lot because that's the method we go with. And realistically, that's just a nice fancy ribbon that we put on our programs, because we've always split it into a training day and non-training day approach, right? So with nutrition, we always go for higher carbs on training days, and we go for lower carbs on non-training days because they don't need it as much. And we've just packaged that into carb cycling. So our nutrition approach is carb cycling, so they never need to miss meals out. So without missing meals out, without missing takeaways, without missing family occasions, because you're able to use this carb cycling approach to always have the availability to, eat out, stay within your goals, and get the same results. So that's the new method that we go with. On the training side, we've always believed big in failure training and progressive overload. So that's the new method that we would say, even though it's not new, like we haven't invented it, but that's the path that we definitely recognize. Like, we don't promote keto. So we would, if you're talking about the old path, a lot of people would, if we're talking about women specifically, they would think they need to cut the carbs out, right? So the old path is cutting carbs. We don't want to cut the carbs out. So you need to name an old path that they don't need to do. So old method would be in online, if they want to get more leads, it would be basically paid ads. So if they want to get loads of leads on tap, we would talk about why paid ads is not the best route for that. I can actually give you a quick lesson on that right now. If you're an online coach, I've wasted 15, 20k on paid ads and completely burnt it when I first went into it at the start. And that was all within a couple of months, right? And the reason why that didn't work is because it was a completely new sales channel to us. We'd always worked with an organic audience. So basically, organic usually is much warmer. They already trust us a lot more. So when we moved to this new sales channel of paid ads, which is a completely new channel, new way of getting leads, it was so cold, and we weren't, our funnels, our email marketing, everything was not set up to deal with that and convert our audience. So it was an absolute nightmare. The sales process was terrible, and we learned the hard way, right? So it was a very expensive lesson, both from a money standpoint and a time standpoint, and just having to go through the hard part of just learning everything again. So it was a deep learning process. So I talk about that old method quite a lot, and I believe for most coaches, especially below 10, 15k a month, they should not be going into paid ads. A lot of people are promoting it, but I really just disagree, because it's a really easy way to burn a lot of money before you've got even the organic side nailed. You should get that nailed first before you move to paid ads. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of money, right? And you're going to struggle to see a return on investment. So, and then the final pinned post is arguably the most important one. Now, this is a big reason why I built Social Proof page in the first place, right? Is because on social media these days, the algorithm has changed. However, one thing you can control is obviously the pinned post. So when people go to your profile, they are definitely, more than likely, going to at least see that pinned post. And if it's catchy, they're going to have a look through it, especially if they're interested in you. However, when people, are posting just reels or stories of proof, of testimonials, reviews, before and afters, things like that, most of your audience does not see that. They do not see that. And I'm saying that again. they do not see it. So I know you're posting it and you think that, yeah, everyone's going to see it. They're not. So not everyone is seeing it. Not everyone is being nurtured, and it harms your engagement because people don't want to see that stuff. And Instagram doesn't want to promote that stuff anymore. Social media doesn't want to promote it because they want engaging content, right? So it's harming you, your reputation, and your ability to get engagement. So that's why we built the tool Social Proof page, to basically harvest all of your proof, all your testimonials, your reviews, your results, your case studies, everything on one page, so that when they click that link to apply with you, to work with you, to book a call with you, they're not just going to a cold link with nothing on there. They now go into a page where, yes, they can take the next step, they can book a call, they can apply now, they can do all those things, but it's got you on the front page and a nice VSL of you, and then all your proof there as well. So they are basically pushed off the fence. So if anyone's ever on the fence when they click a link and then they bounce off, now they're being pushed over by everyone basically telling them how good you are and showcasing the proof. And that is what we do want to do with that pin post as well. It's the only opportunity on social media where you are pretty much guaranteed of having a much higher chance of people viewing your results. So that's where you want your results. So I'm going to call it, this is where you want your proof. Okay, so what does that mean? It basically means results, before and afters. It means testimonials, which is gold dust. I actually think testimonials is probably one of the reasons why we did so well. Like, I was a fiend for making sure I got videos from people all the time. I prompted them with the right questions to get them to say the right things. I interviewed them in person. I literally went to the gym, interviewed people. I'd done my best to get testimonials. So testimonials, case studies. So case studies, the difference between case studies is basically using someone's journey to tell their story and tell them and walk through the journey you've been on as a coach, as a service provider, how things changed throughout the journey, how they felt, how they felt before, how they felt after, but it's coming from your mouth, you're telling the story, whereas a testimonial is them telling the story and them answering the questions. So those are the things I would pin if I was trying to blow up as a coach in this year. And I think the principles are always going to stay the same. So I can't see how this is going to change because people are always going to need to see these things before they take the next step to work with you. So this is extremely important. I think it's going to be beneficial to almost anyone providing an online service. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Comment below any questions. I'll always get back to them. And to the 10 people that have stayed to the end, thank you. And make sure you subscribe if you're trying to grow an online service business. And I'll see you soon.